Hi everyone, welcome to this another broadcast. I'm sure that as we have been looking at the different characteristics of God, answering the question, what is God like, that you have been getting some insight into the amazing being that we worship as God, getting something of an insight into who God is and what He is like. How true are those words that we find in Scripture? Worthy art thou, O Lord, to receive glory and honour and power. The God we worship is an amazing God. Today we're going to be thinking about what is known as the omnipresence of God. This refers to the fact that God is everywhere present. There is nowhere in this world, there is nowhere in the universe, or even beyond the universe, where God is not. You and I are limited to being in one place at one time. It's impossible, for example, for me to be sitting recording this broadcast and at the same time to be with my daughter in her home in Cookstown. If I'm broadcasting in Tyrone's Ditches, that's where I am. I cannot be in two places at one time. The reason for that is that I, like yourself, am a material being. We have a body, and no body and nothing with material parts can be in more than one place at one time, let alone everywhere. God doesn't have a body. God is spirit. Jesus reminds us of that in the Gospel of John. And because God is spirit, and because He is God, He can be everywhere at the same time. That's not to say that every spiritual entity, every spiritual being possesses the quality of omnipresence. Satan is a spiritual being, the angels are spiritual beings, demons are spiritual beings, but none of these spiritual beings has the ability to be everywhere at the same time. This is something that only God possesses. It is a distinctive characteristic of God alone. And the Bible, of course, teaches this very clearly in numerous places. For example, in Psalm 139, the psalmist says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you're there. If I take the wings of the dawn, if I dwell in the remotest part of the sea, even there your hand will lead me and your right hand will lay hold of me." What the psalmist is doing is using poetic language to try to get across the amazing truth that it doesn't matter where he goes, God is present. There never has been since creation, and there never will be throughout creation until this world comes to an end. There never will be anywhere where God will not be present. God is as much with us and as close to us as He is to people living in Russia or China or the United States of America or Australia or wherever. God promised His people, "I will be with you." And in order for that promise to be fulfilled, God has to be everywhere because His people are everywhere. It's true of all people the world over. That's why, for God's people, the name Emmanuel is so precious to us as Christians. Emmanuel means God with us. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verses 23 to 24, we read these words: "Am I a God at hand, declares the Lord, and not a God afar off? Can a man hide himself in secret places so that I cannot see him, declares the Lord? Do I not fill heaven and earth?" The fullness of God's presence is all around us, and that's a great comfort for me as a Christian, and it should be a great comfort to you as a Christian, because God is with us in all the changing circumstances of our life. This is particularly true if we are alone, or maybe when we're going through a period of struggling with one thing, or maybe at a period of deep sorrow. God is there with us. He's there as our companion. He's there as our comfort. He's there as our strength. What a wonderful God we serve. One who never leaves us, who never forsakes us. He is the God who is there. Have a great day. Every blessing.